What is up, guys? This is Jason Gaming, part 2 of the controller settings series on things that we can kind of critique each other with. I messed around with a weapon that was requested. I did the Dawnsong, as it uses a directional AoE. So it's got a two-step process. You know, you got the AoE and then you've got to direct which way it goes. And on the controller, it's probably that and the glacial staff's probably two of the harder weapons to use. I'm not a big fan of casters on the controller just because of the speed. And then if you try to use speed, you kind of sacrifice where things go, the direction of things, or putting the AoE effect on enemies. But I do a lot of ZVZ. I've got to practice, so that's what these videos are about. So the Dawnsong, I was running around here, and what I've come across on settings, which I'm recording this not live, is button release is still the best method even for these weapons. I was playing around with it, and I'll tell you why from my experience, because without using button release, same thing as the melee weapons, it's too slow. You can run around and have the blue AoE effect image on your screen, like you hit the button and that'll be on the screen while you're running around, and you can do it that way, but it's just aggravating. I still prefer button release. Now with the thing with button release that I've noticed, once again, there's a positive and negative with using auto target spell casts and not using auto target. You'll see this later in the video while I'm pulling a couple of bandits, fighting at caps and all that. So the button release is amazing for the speed like I was talking about. But the issue is, let's say you run up to the enemy and you're using your main ability, which with this one, you know, the Dawnsong has a little firebird, and you shoot the fire, you aim the blue crosshairs, and then you go to do the aim direction and you button release it. Sometimes it'll cancel out automatically. You'll see that as you practice weapons like this. That's the biggest downfall, at least for me, trying with the button release. I love the button release on this weapon except for that, and then kind of controlling where the firebird goes. But yeah, you'll run up, blue crosshairs you'll hit it for the button release, and then the direction will pop up, and then you can aim it up, you know, whatever direction you want with your analog stick. But sometimes you will notice that when you do release your button for that to work, the direction, it will not work. It'll automatically cancel out, and then you will have to restart the whole spell process, which isn't long, but that can get you killed or prevent you from getting a kill. It doesn't do that every time, but randomly it'll cancel out the direction using the button release. So yeah, here in a couple of seconds we'll show you a couple of cap fights, but auto targeting, I think that will depend on the person, because the crosshair spot will be different. I think in PvP it's best to have it off, because you're going to have to spend that extra second to do the direction and the player will already be moved. PvE with it on is probably fine. I think I have it. Let me see. I'm going to watch this clip. First fight. Yeah, I think I have it on. So the crosshair was already on the boss. That's fine. I think it's auto-targeting is probably best for PvE, where it's more predictable. But I did have a couple fights not recorded, friendly fights, and I didn't win. It wasn't even close. I didn't win any of them with auto-targeting on. It's just I wasn't used to already having the target on and then going right into the direction and then missing, and it's just you're gonna have to have a lot of practice. This weapon's doable. I still feel like auto targeting off with PvP is better, but that's just my play style. But you can see that the direction still works with button release in these cap fights. So we're gonna go, I think I fast forwarded each one a little bit. But yeah, weapons, most weapons are doable. This one is still one of the, I don't know if it's the hardest. I haven't done all the weapons with the controller, but this one, I've used it before, but I've never done it in red zone. But it's a lot harder than melee, on the controller. The direction deal just requires practice. I'm wearing a 4.1 set, which I do got it famed up. I have a lot of fame on this character. And it's a mouse a mouse is no problem for the most part with practice, moving AoE and directions and things like that. You have your whole hand moving the mouse, you got the whole screen. Controller is just a little challenging. You've just got the joystick, you've got your right thumb that controls everything, the direction, and it just takes practice. Some players might like this. I don't really prefer casters on the controller, but I have to. More practice probably makes a little better. So, get my butt whooped in this. And I'm going to have a couple of more clips of caps. But yeah, that's the gist of it. I would still, summary of all of this, I would still use button release. Not having it will work. You might like it better, but for me, I liked having the speed over the control. So I had button release. And auto targeting, once again, is very important, like the last video. So yeah, auto target if you want the crosshair already on the enemy. Just like I said, it depends on the place. I wouldn't do it in PvP. I can control that split second more with auto target off in PvP. And then either way, you kind of get used to the control of where. See how I keep messing up. I have auto target off right now, and I would release it too fast, and the AoE would hit my body instead of the enemy. You're going to have to pick one or the other, or just get used to the rhythms of both. Targeting being on and off. But the weapon's fun on controller. I see a lot of potential. I see a lot of work. It needs a whole lot of work, which is the biggest reason why I'm making these videos. I have them in the forum. If you go to Albion Online's official forum on their website, there is a controller, a whole group of people. And if you are watching this and you want the controller to improve, I highly recommend getting on there and then testing out the controller for yourself and posting things that you think work and doesn't work. Because the more feedback these devs get, or whoever is on the controller testers, the faster they can fix things, and it's just got huge potential. I mean, a lot of you guys that are watching this apparently are interested in it. Maybe I grew up a console player, and I bought a computer for New World. New World just bombed, and I found Albion Online as a free, I found it on an ad somewhere. It's not even advertised that well in the States, or at least my area, but somehow I found it. I think on an MMORPG website. Tried it out, and then later on, got on my computer and just decided to use controller. I just like I said, I grew up on console. I think controller has huge potential. So, yeah, the glacial staff is probably going to be the same way. I don't have a video, haven't tried it out. Been kind of busy this past couple of weeks, but I'm sure it's the same way. It'll work. Sometimes it'll probably cancel out on the direction of button release, but it'll still work. I'm going to see if I can bomb some people with it on controller, because it's a great bomb weapon. Now, I post a couple of clips with my axe that I used on the first video because I love that thing. I'm going to show you it's a very underrated weapon. So you guys have a good one. I'm going to post some clips, and I will make another video on a requested weapon. Peace.
Come back northeast. Walk northeast. Shout on me. Come to me. Come to west. Come to west. Come to west. Nice one. Walk to me. 2-1. East on jump. East on jump. Big. Hit him. Nice fucking one. Walk north.
Done. Nicely done. Nicely done.